Boruto episode 255 review. The title of this episode is A Tricky Assignment. So starting off, we see that Team 7 and 5 are back in the Leaf Village, and we see that Team 7 is being congratulated by Naruto, Katasuke, and Shikamaru, as one could say their mission was a success, as we see Katasuke mentioning that their mission has boosted the Leaf's popularity. We also find out that the Funato has lost much of its influence, meaning they still have an influence in the Land of Water, but little compared to during the war. Also, that they're now monitored at all times. We see Kabuna and we see the shot of him vowing to become strong like his father in order to protect everyone. And when I saw this, I felt good knowing that Kabuna at a young age understands that he does not have to carry the will of revenge. And he has had the privilege of learning that it only leads to unwanted and unnecessary problems. Now we see his motives being to protect, and I also like that Funomoshi's right hand man will be the one to take care of Kabuna. Also, we see that Jabiki aka Snake is in lockup and he's feeling real guilty. But it would seem that he didn't think Izari would be killed by Ariumi, and I have to say this has to be hard to live with. Lastly, we find out that Ariumi has been locked back up, and I have to say I made the mistake, as I stated in my previous video, that Kawaki had killed him, but here we find out that he's alive. Moving on, we see that Kawaki and Boruto get into it in the Hokage's office, which ends with Kawaki walking out. After he leaves, he runs into Team 5 and they manage to get on his bad side after asking about Boruto. Kawaki right here seems very angry and conflicted, as you have to remember that he grew up with very different people and ideologies, so it's still kinda hard for him to just forget everything and be like everyone else. Moving on, we see that the Mizukage is being briefed on damages caused by the war. Also, we see him still reeling over Kagura as he states that he never expected the Haramekari to come back to him in this way. We also see that the Future Lord, who lost his son during a bombing by the Funato, has requested harsh punishment for both Ikada and Ariumi, which I can totally understand, as it must hit harder now that the war is over. And it's during this scene that the Mizukage admits that the Land of Water rushed too quickly to modernize, which caused a strain in various places, thus creating the recent war. We then see Naruto and Boruto having a father-son talk, and it's here where Boruto finds out Naruto felt the same way he did, and that he is still trying to figure out the answer to what Boruto is trying to figure out. Also, he reminded Boruto that if he has the guts to never give up, he will someday find the answer. Moving on, we find out that Butan will now be going to the Hidden Mist village, while Kyoho will be staying in Kagura's home village. And I guess in the end, Kagura did get his wish, as he was for them what Boruto was for him. And I know these two will never forget him, Hibichigo, nor Team 7 or 5. Beautiful and sad ending to their story here, but really looking forward to seeing them in the future of the series. Also, we find out that Butan will no longer take revenge on Shizuma, but will capture him and make him pay for his crimes, which is a start, I guess. Moving on, we see Ikada in prison, and he is informed that the Shinonome is being suspended, as the Land of Water has now decided to get everyone's approval before they develop the nation. And we even find out that since doing that, or should I say announcing that, things have been running smoother, as stated by the Mizukage's assistant. We also see that they decided to let Ikada go into the care and supervision of Boss Kajiki, which is the best ending for Ikada, as we all know he's a good person. Moving on, we see that Boruto and Kawaki have finally confronted each other, as they won't be able to talk it out, while Sarada yells at them. Which reminds me of the fight between Naruto and Sasuke, where Sakura almost got caught between the Chidori and Rasengan. Also, the times when Naruto and Sasuke would fight, as they could only understand each other through fists. I also love the moments like when Mitsuki popped up and was all impressed, and Sarada was like, this isn't the time to be impressed. Then Naruto popped up just as amused as Mitsuki, and Sarada was like, Lord 7? And when their heads were moving in whatever direction Kawaki and Boruto went. Also, when we saw them moving with the fight, real good moments to look back at in the future when things get more serious. Lastly, we see that Boruto and Kawaki can't throw another blow, and the two collapse, which I do find funny, and it's here they kind of hear each other out, and they end up feeling much better after, which Naruto suggests they get some ramen, and Boruto was like, "What, ramen? I prefer Thunder Burger," to which Naruto was like, "You idiot! Ramen is way better than Thunder Burger. These goddamn kids these days." And that's where the episode ends. Overall, I thought this was a good episode. Really looking forward to see what happens in the next. But that's all I had to say. Thanks for watching.